Okay, so today's first project, Roland MC-50 Mark II sequencer, and this one Jim gave me, Jim Plunkett, working on his stuff, and the buttons are iffy. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. So these are all rubber sealed momentary contact switches. So we're going to open this up and we're going to try and put holes into the rubber and shoot some contact cleaner in them and clean them up. See if we can get it working that way. If not, then we'll be replacing switches. Okay, all cover screws are removed. Just slide that back. Now we'll pull the disk drive out of there so we can get to our switchboard, which is this PC here that runs all the way across. So that's just these 4 screws here. Pull out our power communication cable. That's that 3.5 drive. Set that over there for now. And so now just going to pull out those screws, and then we'll pull that board up and flip it over and see if our custom-made tool is going to work here, okay? Okay, so all the screws are out of this now. There's a plastic shield that goes underneath that 3.5 drive. We'll set that aside. And then this has 2 ribbon cables which come off of all these pins. So we can gently pull that forward. Try and keep that rubber down and in place. And we'll flip that over. Okay, and so these are all rubber switches. And we want to get contact cleaner in all those. You see a bunch of them have LEDs. They have clear lenses on the switches that have those. And let's get our tool and see if it's going to work. Okay, so what I have here is a glue dispenser tip. See if we can get in there a little closer. And this is just like a quarter turn into a big syringe or a dispenser system. And so I've taken one of these, stripped this plastic off with a razor blade, and then put it in a drill and ran this end of it through one of my diamond crowning files to make it sharp. And then I'll use that as like a hollow drill to go through the rubber caps on each of these switches, and then I can shoot my contact cleaner in there. And hopefully we will get good contact again. So that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I drilled my first hole right there off camera. And it looks like it's going to work okay. We'll do the second one here on camera just to show you how I do it. I got that chucked up in the old drill. And I just stick it right on the center of that button. And go very lightly. That's through, but it's not coming out of there. Okay, we'll grab that with the tweezers and pull it out, and we should have a good hole there. If I can get that out. Not get in my own light as I'm doing it. So there's that rubber. And then I can just get in there with my deoxit straw or contact cleaner, whatever you use. Just shoot that in there and we'll soak those down. And then I'll just put a little grease or Vaseline or something over that to seal it back up and keep the moisture out. Alright, so now I'm not going to drill all however many of these there are on camera. But we'll come back when I'm done drilling them and I'll show you, and we'll shoot them with some cleaner. So after a little over a dozen holes or so, my tool is clogged up. The rubber didn't go all the way through, but I have a trusty tool to clean that out with, so we'll just push that from the back side. Okay, so that fits through there nicely. Push that rubber right out. So now I'll chuck this back up in my drill, and we'll get the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 more. And then we'll shoot some contact cleaner in there. Okay, all my holes are drilled. Now my plan is to take one of these tips that is unadulterated, and I'll just use that to go into the holes that I just poked through the rubber with the sharpened one. And then I'll just spray my contact cleaner right through that and in there, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this seems to work out okay. Just take and get that right in there. Just a quick shot, that's it. Move on to the next one. And it's a tight fit, which is okay. There we go. Elevated jam tracks playing for our background music. And if you subscribe to his Patreon, you can use his tracks to do whatever you want to do with, or you can download them and pay for them one at a time if you want, but he's got so many good tracks. Okay, that one might have to go in and clear out a little more. Yeah, maybe the same with that one too. Telephone is ringing. Okay, so that was my brother on the phone. Gonna take a ride with him in a while. Got the keypad all back in, insulator underneath, disk drive reinstalled, and I'll put the back cover on now. And as always, back them up until you feel the thread drop in, so that you're not cutting new threads in the plastic or cross-threading into the machine threads. Standard practice. Here's all my little rubber plugs that came out with our custom drill tool. This was the one I slipped into each of those to lube them up. Everybody feels good. Nice. We know that that was okay. All right, good enough. So now I'll hook that up with the MIDI cable. Okay, so another one of Jim's Roland digital piano modules. One of the MKS-20's. This one's really doing all kinds of ugly stuff and sounds terrible. So it's got sticky switches, like maybe somebody spilled drinks on it or something, all across the front. So we're going to start there. And then just like I did on the other modules, I'll reseat all the plugs on the PC boards. And we'll try it again, see how it goes. And then if that's a-okay, we'll get into that other sequencer. But I got that one working now, so that's how I can test these. But let's see how bad this faceplate is. Oh yeah, these things are just like stuck solid. The switch won't even move. That's terrible. This one goes in and stays in. These are all momentary contact. Let's get a look at that. Oh yeah, that's just crud all over these. So, we'll give those an alcohol bath, I guess. See if that doesn't free them up. And we'll clean up this volume slider. This thing was terrible, scratchy. As soon as you move it, it goes right to full volume. Where did they put that contact cleaner? Yeah. So, clean up. And then we'll see if we can get the MKS-20 working. Okay, so I did some rubbing alcohol on the buttons. And they seem to work. A little sticky still on number 7. Yeah, 7's still slow. But now I'll just unplug and reseat all these board connectors and see if we can't get the tone to be a little bit better than it was there. This is going to be a little on the tough side here. These two are. There we go. A little hard to separate. Come on. There we go. Oh, I got, okay, I got that plugged, that's why. And so that's usually all you gotta do with these, just pull them out and reseat them. Don't have to spray them or anything, unless they're really bad. But that should clean up those pins. There we go. Alrighty. We got these two. Oh, tough. Now the tough pair, triple actually. We got this one here too. Try and get my finger in on all those. Okay, there's those three. And this thing was doing some really ugly stuff. And it's interesting because I used the exact same file from the sequencer. Ow. On both of those. Okay, those are hardwired in there. And it wasn't doing the same thing as the other piano box, so definitely something in this unit was messed up. And it could have been the sticky buttons. Who knows? But it had a really distorted output too. That is kind of a pain right there. Those are plugs too, yeah. Everything else is solid. Okay, get that out of the way. the bottom cover. Nothing visibly ugly. That's a good sign. Okay, let's do the reseat all the plugs on this board as well. Okay, second MC-50 Mark II. This one's got some, the play button is pretty ugly. You really got to push it a few times to get it to engage. Encoder seems a little slow sometimes, but then picked up, but I'll clean up the contacts from the wires on that. And yep, we'll go through this one and see if we can't get this one done the same way. I'll drill the holes and the rubber pads over the switches, just like I did on the other one, which seems to work fine now. And yeah, we'll open it up and do the same thing that we did to the last one. Okay, so second sequencer up and running, rolling along good. We go shift that, read the disc, it's reading, dial the dial, load a file, just a easy touch, brings it right up. Done loading, hit play. And so this button wasn't quite doing much. It was sticky. Not sticky, but it just didn't have the contact, so now it works real good. Simple touch, no messing around anymore. So that's good. Both of those are ready to roll for Jim. Now I gotta get some electroluminescent backlight things for these. I found them. I think they come from Germany though. But they're direct placements. They run on 100 volts. I didn't know that. High frequency, 100 volts. But at any rate, two sequences up and running, ready to roll.